So we're going to talk about the pros and cons with the auto transporting. We're going to talk about the money, the companies, the logistic companies that I move for. Um, a lot of people ask, well, how much you making? That's hard to say because I don't know if we're in the same state. I don't know if you have the same laws. Um, I can tell you what I'm making or what I try to make. So I try to make between 700 and 1,000 a day. So I only work 3 days a week. I probably could work 5 days a week, but I'm driving 14 hours a day. It's tiring. I have a 1 year old that I want her to know me in her life. I don't want to work that hard. All right. I don't have logbooks because I'm only in state. I don't go out of state. I have enough headache from DOT trying to cause problems for drivers in state. I don't need DOT's bullshit in 50 other states. Like, I have friends that go out of state and DOT will shut them down. I had a friend get shut down for 3 hours because he didn't have some over-length paper that was $10. He could have just gave the fucking guy $10. Like, if you're that hard up for this $10, I'll just give you the fucking $10. Let me move on with my life. What I don't understand, and what they don't seem to understand, is that if we didn't move cars, if we didn't move groceries and all these things around the states, no one would have shit. They have to be transported. So that same car that DOT is driving came on a truck from God knows where. The groceries in his fridge came from God knows where. Farm, fucking hills, I don't know, whatever. They don't cut any breaks. I had a DOT officer pull me over and was talking about color contrast with the letters on my truck, and you have to see it from 50 feet away, and he started pacing around and he's asking me all these stupid ass questions. You know, I don't give straight answers when I talk to the cops because I know you're here to hurt me and make my life harder and more difficult. So I'm gonna sit there and buddy up with you, kikiing with you, giving you straight answers to fuck myself. I damn near want to call a lawyer over a seatbelt ticket. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't dealing with you with that bullshit. Long story short, I don't go out of state. I don't want to deal with those problems. So, and I like being home every night. I don't want to have to sleep in my truck or sleep at a hotel. Hey, if you can go out of state and, you know, you like it, more power to you. You know, you'll make good money going out of state. I don't. So I don't deal with the ELD shit. And I'm sure they're soon going to try to figure out a way to get ELD on drivers that are in state. And that's when I have to tip my hat and be out of this business and figure something else out to do. Because they're already in our shit enough. With all the permits and all the bullshit we have to get before we can even get on the road to make money. Now you want to see my whereabouts too? It's too much. So anyway, let's talk about the first company. Central Dispatch. Central Dispatch is somehow the #1 company, which I don't understand how. When I first started, this is where everyone was telling me to go. Central Dispatch, Central Dispatch. There's no money on Central Dispatch. It's not even the dealers that are the problem. Central Dispatch doesn't pay you. They have some kind of analytics on there for dealers. So when dealers are posting a car, for example, if they want to move a car from Clearwater, Florida to Jacksonville, Florida, it will tell the dealer this car has been moved before for $45. Well, guess what? That dealer doesn't want to pay, you know. Dealers are cheap. They want to get everything for as little as possible. They'll throw that car in there for $45. If you take that car for $45, you're fucking it up for other transporters. That car should be at least $200. If you take it for $45, now that becomes the going rate. Every time someone wants to move a car from Clearwater to Jacksonville, they're thinking they're gonna get it done for $40. I don't know who's taking those cars for that price, but they're fucking the shit up. So don't take cars for that price. Also, 90% of the time, you call a dealer on Central Dispatch, they don't answer the phone. If you get lucky enough to get one that does answer the phone, usually the car has already been moved. So why is the car still on their website? That's how Central Dispatch works. That's how slow it is. It's the worst company. On top of all that, you're paying $115 a month to have this interface. You may get lucky on there and meet a dealer that's moving cars consistently, and you can just say, hey, look, instead of going through Central, here's my phone number. Call me directly from now on. And you'll gain business like that if you're lucky. And good luck with that. All right. Next company, Metrologistics, formerly known as Acertus. Acertus is very consistent with their cars, but they're not consistent with the money. So a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, when I first started with them, I was getting $600 a load, and they got big vehicles. They got big transit vans, F-150s. They got big heavy shit that's tearing your trailer up. You know what I mean? The more weight on your trailer, the more wear and tear on your bearings, your tires, your brakes, everything. Now, those same loads that were paying $600, a load, now they're down to in the 3s and the 4s. Also, if you get a 1-inch scratch on any of those vehicles, because they're brand new, they try to hit you for $450. Not Acertus, but the dealer will file a claim for it. Will file a claim, and with Acertus, and that falls on you. Then that comes out of whatever money they owe you. You can't move another vehicle until you straighten them out on that money, which is fucked up because we're not the ones causing these problems. There was one time I moved a F-150. It had a little nick by the lug nut where whatever the machine was that puts the bolts on at the factory, it must have nicked the wheel. I didn't see this. First of all, when we pick up vehicles from them, it's late at night. Yeah, you got a flashlight, but you can only see so much with a flashlight. It's raining, vehicle's usually dirty. You've been driving all day. You don't have time to go over this thing with a fine-tooth comb. Anyway, they hit me for $925. I almost quit fucking with them. They hit me for $925 for a wheel, a $75 wheel that you'd have gotten the junkyard on eBay for nothing. So I was pissed. That's how the dealerships take advantage and kind of get some of their money back from all the transporting that they have done. I had a friend once. The book wasn't in the truck. He moved the truck for them. The book wasn't in there. They charged him $65, I think, $45 for the book. He was pissed. He said, I don't even go through these vehicles. They're like, well, you're supposed to check, the glove compartment for the book. So you're telling me I have to count all the books. I have to look at all the hubcaps. I have to go through the truck, make sure all the carpets are there. Like, nobody has time for all that. I don't have time for that. We got to get moving. We got shit to do. There's other vehicles to move. It's not just, not just dedicated to moving Ford vehicles. The pros with this company is they have no fee comm checks, which they'll pay in about 2 or 3 days. All their vehicles are usually in one location. And if it's at the rail yard in my state, it's 24 hours. So if I get there at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, I can always go in and get what I need to get and keep it moving. So that's the pros to that company. And the people there are usually pretty friendly. If you call them and you have a problem, they're pretty cool. All right. Next company I'm going to talk about is IAA. This is Insurance Auto Auction. All their cars are crashed or don't run. This company pays good, but these cars are a headache. You're either, if they roll, you're going to have to winch it up on your trailer. A lot of times they'll come out and take it on or off with a forklift. You don't want that. That tears up your trailer. These guys, they'll drag the forks right across the top of your trailer, bend your shit all up, mangle your trailer all up, run into your trailer by accident. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck. They're moving junk cars, so they're just throwing cars on your shit. I don't fool with IA. I mean, it has to be a deal I can't refuse. They have to be paying an absurdly amount of money for me to go move a car for IA. The next company is United Road. This company is a joke. I used to move cars for them from the port, Tampa port to Jacksonville auction. They were paying me $150 a car. I was moving 4 cars at a time. That's $600 for that load. That was great. Next thing I know, I get an email from them saying, "Hey, we're not going to be paying $150 a car anymore. Those cars are going to be $57 a car. And we need you to up your insurance." I had 150. Well, I have 150,000 in cargo and $1 million in liability, which is costing me $1,400 a month, which is ridiculous. I have no accidents, no tickets. Had my CDL for 5 years. I'm paying a ridiculous amount of insurance. So you mean to tell me you want me to up my insurance to, I think it was 200 or 250,000 in cargo? And I don't know how much that costs. I didn't even ask. I'm sure it would have added another $200, $300 a month to my policy, which I don't need another $10 a month. And they were going to pay less. So you want me to pay more for insurance and you're going to pay me less to move cars. That's what you're trying to convince me of. You can go fuck yourself. But there's guys out there that will do it. I don't know if these guys just get free insurance a month, or they get free fuel a month, or they just have a free mechanic to work on their equipment a month. I don't know. But there's guys out there that will move those cars for $57, pay that extra for insurance, and keep rolling. More power to you. I can't do it. I can't afford my lifestyle of hoes and booze doing that. All right. So the next company I'm going to talk about is Cars Arrive. Cars Arrive, one day the car will be $100 from Clearwater to Orlando, which is 2 hours. That's fine. 150 would be better, but 100, it is what it is. The next day, that same vehicle coming from that same place will be $65. I don't know if those are broke. That's brokers just trying you, or they really believe that that's what it should be, or is a new guy, or what. And if you call and say, "Hey, this car is usually $100," they'll say, "Yeah, you're right. It is usually $100, but the best we can do is $75 instead of $65. So what do you want to do? Get off the phone. All right, there's nothing else to talk about. Okay, well, appreciate you answering, taking the time to take the call. Click. The problem is, you'll go on there 20 minutes later and somebody would have taken that car for $65. Now that becomes the going rate. So that's fucking drivers up. Y'all got to stop taking these cars that are not paying what they should be paying. If we hold out and take cars for what they're worth, the rates will stay fair. If you keep taking cars for little money, slowly but surely, you'll see it just going down and down and down. And now all of a sudden, we're out here moving cars for $20. I'm not getting out of bed for less than $100. Like that, I have a yard sale before I move a car for $65. That's a waste of my time. The gas is too high, and so is insurance. The good thing about Cars Arrive is they'll pay within 3 days. Your money will be in your account. All right. So let's talk about Ready Logistics. This is the best company out there. 2 years ago, a car was $100. Right now, the car is $100. They're consistent. These cars are owned, I think Manheim owns Ready Logistics, the company. So once you send in your BOL, you'll get an email that says, a couple hours later, you'll get an email that says, payment has been deposited to your account. They have direct deposit. Next day, your money's in there. That's the best company. Also, they'll send you cars. So they know what area you stay in and what area you usually do your route. In the mornings, you'll usually have an email with them sending you cars asking if you want to move them. Also, if you get to a car for them and you find out it doesn't have keys or it doesn't start, it's an in-op, it has a flat tire, something like that. If you call them, that same car that was $104, if you call them and say, "Hey, this car doesn't run, it's an in-op," they'll ask you, "Can you still move it?" Yes. Okay, we'll give you in-op prices. Instead of $104, you'll get between $140 and $180. A couple weeks ago, I had a dually, a F350. Went to go pick it up. I think it was paying $150 or $160. Went to go pick it up, it didn't run. Called them, hey, this car doesn't run. It's an in-op, and it's oversized. It's huge. She asked me if I can move it. I said, yeah, I can fight with this thing. I'll get it on the trailer. I ended up getting $300 for that one vehicle. So, and it was going from Clearwater. Yeah, it was going from Clearwater to Orlando. And I ended up getting $300 for that. So, that's the best company, is Ready Logistics. And the people there are real friendly too when you call them. They don't. Some companies you'll call there and they'll kind of act almost bothered, like they'll have a kind of figured out attitude. They're not one of them. So when you're in this business, you need to know how to turn a wrench. There's guys out there that can't change a tire. I don't know how you get by not being able to even change a tire. The maintenance on these things are kind of high. So I had to pretty much become a trailer mechanic. I know how to do electric brakes. I bought a impact gun, a battery powered DeWalt. It'll take off school bus tires. So you want to get one of those, like $300, brushless. And I keep that in the truck. I get a flat, I zip them off, and I'm on my way. I'm not out there breaking my back on a wrench or whatever. Learn your axles. Learn how to do your brakes. Well, I have videos on here of me doing the brakes on the axles. It could save you a lot of money and a lot of time if you know how to just do it yourself. If you got to pay somebody every time your truck coughs, if you got to pay somebody every time your bearing, you smoke a bearing, you got to go pay somebody, you'll never make any money like that. You got to keep your costs down and your profits higher. So if you like this video, hit like, subscribe. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments, and I'll try to get to them and answer them as much as I can. Back to the money again. So everyone's always asking about the money, and I had talked about it a little bit in this video about how much I try to make, $700 to $1,000 a day. You're probably thinking, damn, this guy must be rich. $1,000 a day. That's, if I worked 5 days, that'd be $5,000 a week, just $20,000 a month. You got to think, fuel, I spend $200 a day in fuel. I drive about 600 miles. Tires are expensive. You're going to go through tires damn near like you go through fuel. You carrying a lot of weight on the trailer, it's going to eat up some tires. Brakes. Could probably go through brakes every 6 months. I got 6 wheels on my trailer. That's 6 brakes. I think they're $200. I'm pretty sure they're about $200 a wheel to do the whole backing plate, the drum, the bearings, everything. $220, I think. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you over $1,000 just doing brakes on your trailer. If you don't know how to work on shit, that means someone else is going to be working on your shit, which is going to cost you more money. So, the money is good if you can figure out a way to get your costs down. If you start turning a wrench yourself and you're good with your hands, you make good money. When you make good money, you start to buy a lot of shit. If you look at my YouTube, you'll see I, have a decent car, a couple. The girlfriend's car needs maintenance and the baby needs maintenance and the girlfriend needs maintenance and then I like nice shit and I like having fun. So even though you're making $1,000 a day, for me, I'm making $1,000 a day. I'll spend $1,000 in a day. Just on, if you're good at managing your money, you'll do fine. If you're okay with not having shit, you'll do great. I like having shit, so my money goes pretty fast. So it's hard to save. The more you make, the more you spend. The more you want to do things and create opportunities for yourself. So that's just a little note for you guys as far as the money goes with this business. All right, good luck with everything.